right. Nothing like a good early morning masturbation. Oh, camera's on. That camera on? Oh. So I'll vlog first. Vlogging. So this is what vlogging is. Vlogging. I've never done a vlog before. Do I look at the camera? Do I look at the screen? I'm gonna look at the camera. I'm gonna look deeply into your eyes. What a filthy thrill this vlogging thing is. Sounds like something a sex offender does. I'm gonna vlog you. I'm gonna vlog you so hard. But we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about a movie that I made, wrote, edited, starred in, helped to shoot. It was about this time 2 years ago that I started bothering all of you on social media, asking you to help contribute funds to back this little independent horror film that I'd written and wanted to make myself. 2 years later, that movie's almost done. I've said that before, but this time, I really mean it. The visual portion of the film is done. The title cards are finished. The opening credits and the closing credit crawl are finished. The footage is color corrected. The footage is color graded. The edit is completed. We have a picture lock, which means that the film that is existing on this computer right here is the film that is existing on this computer right here is film that I will give you someday, comrade. This film is to being almost done. Jesus Christ, I'm fucking Russian. We're in the audio production stage now. I get paid tomorrow. That was gross, I'm sorry. I get paid tomorrow. And with that money, I'm gonna buy, we already have a Blu-ray burner, courtesy of my lovely mother. And I'm gonna pick up some Blu-rays and we're gonna do a test pass where I use, what's the program called? Where I'll use compressor to make a Blu-ray cut and see how it looks on an HD TV. So the picture's done. Really, I just want to watch it on an HD TV to get some sense of closure and satisfaction and validation of myself as a filmmaker and a human being, which I haven't been getting lately. So here's what still needs to be done. I met with Dan 2 days ago, and he is wide open until the end of January. One of the problems that we've had is Dan has been overcommitted. He's been working on a bajillion other projects. He's been recording bands down in Escanaba. He's had to be working on theatrical productions, all of these contracts pre-signed ahead of the one that he has with me. So he had a bunch of planes stacked up over the runway, and Marlon just sort of was left to coast off into some beautiful sunset on an island that I will never in my life have enough money to visit and enjoy. But we have some deadlines. The December 31st is Dan's deadline for the score and soundtrack. Now these are hard deadlines. These are harakiri, head in the oven, immolation, canvas sack in a river kind of deadlines. Like, there's enough tall buildings in Marquette that if these deadlines aren't met, I'll be calling Tyler and Steven to come and film one last death scene. He's going to have the soundtrack done by December 31st. He's going to do 2 cuts. He's going to have his cut with all the separate tracks so that he can play with it and use it for the film score, so that he can continue to work on the movie while I take that final mix and send it out of house. We're going to do a professional out of house mastering in New Jersey at the end of December, as soon as we're done with the soundtrack. I'm going to start meeting with Dan once or twice a week, just as a way to check up and get my input in there, and to help him along with the process. It's always easier to work when there's someone else there to work with you. And I'm going to be doing a lot of field recording for audio for him, going and getting Foley that he doesn't have the time to get himself, helping him with ADR, collecting ADR from people like Ryan Sitzberger. February 10th is Dan's final, absolute, end-all be-all death by fire deadline to finish Marlon, the film audio, to get the ADR done, the Foley done, get the score mixed in so everything sounds right, put in the underlayer of ambient sound. Then, that deadline is February 10th, and by that time I'll have made a decision on whether or not we're going to do the mastering for the film out of house as well, or if budgetary constrictions. I mean, as well dressed as I am, you would assume that I'd have the money to just send my film all over willy-nilly, get mastered here, mastered there, just mastering it hard with both hands. If money doesn't allow, we'll have to have Dan do the master. He can do it, he's totally capable. You have to have faith in Dan, you a non-believing mother. By February 10th, we will have decided whether or not we're going to do an in-house master or an out-of-house master. Probably the same gentleman who will have done the mastering for the soundtrack if we decide to go that route. So, that's the Marlon update. That's where we are, that's what we're doing. Where does that leave us? Perks will become, I'm going to start producing them as the money becomes available to make them. I'm setting aside some money out of my own pocket rather than out of the Marlon Fund to finish the perks, because the Marlon Fund, mastering the soundtrack is going to cost money, mastering the film is going to cost money, some of the Foley effects are going to cost money, but I don't want to keep putting off the perks. So, t-shirts, coffee cups, physical copies of soundtrack, things like that are going to come out of my pocket. So as soon as I have the money available for those, I'm going to start producing them. Any extraneous ones, any ones that don't have to be sent out as perks, if we order in bulk, will be put up on the website, quillandfilmproductions.com, in the merchandise section for sale. Obviously the film will go out when the film is finished, and the soundtrack will go out digitally and hard copies as soon as the soundtrack is finished. So you can look for at least the soundtrack being done and probably out by, say, the end of December. December 31st. Just in time to have completely missed the Christmas season. Now there are a few other perks that are being made. We're doing a book. We're doing the Marlon book. I want to devote as much time as possible to helping Dan finish the sound design, because I'd rather have the film done than all the little flotsam and jetsam that surround the film. But there's going to be days where I just won't be able to help Dan with the film. So on those days, we're going to do... Dan's going to work on sound design stuff that I'm too stupid to comprehend, and I'm going to do what I'm good at. I'm going to write pages and pages of bullshit. I'm going to reach out and contact a bunch of local artists and some artist friends of mine, get them to generate some images based on the script, and perhaps based on a few scenes that I'll send them some unfinished scenes, because they don't have audio. A lot of people have been asking about a trailer. That's why we don't have a trailer up yet. I can show you the beautiful film, I can show you the footage, but it sounds like crap, because the sound design isn't done, there's no score, there's no sound effects, and the audio hasn't been cleaned up yet. I could show you this beautiful image, but it would sound like garbage. As soon as we have the sound design finished, we'll get a trailer cut and get that up for you. So, that was blogging. I'm not sure if my mind liked it, but my body, well...